So we're back for video 3. This is problem 12.63 on that same page in the white book. And let's just get started so we can get it over with. All right, so how many milliliters of 6 molar HCl solution are required to react with 15 grams of Mg? So my grams of Mg are my given. I'm looking for milliliters of HCl. Oops, I don't need the HCl. Milliliters. So we're trying to find, and we know it's 6 molar. So we'll start with our 15 grams of Mg. Our little track thing here. 1 mole of Mg, because we have to have moles when we're doing stoichiometry. 24.31 grams of Mg, that's the molar mass of Mg. Grams cancel. We're looking for 2 moles HCl, 1 mole of Mg, right? And remember, those came from the 2 and the 1 are the coefficients in the balanced equation. And when we get to this point, we are at moles of HCl. And we're looking for how many milliliters. So we know that there are 6 moles of HCl per liter. But a liter is 1,000 milliliters. What if we just plug in 1,000 right here? So the moles cancel. So I got 15 divided by 24.31 times 2 divided by 6, well, times 1,000 divided by 6. And I got 206 milliliters. So that is my answer for number 63A. 63B, how many liters of H2 at STP? Remember, at STP, 1 mole is 22.4 liters. That's the molar volume of any ideal gas. At STP is 22.4 liters. So 22.4 liters per mole. How many liters of H2 can come from 0.5 liters of 2.00 molar HCl? Well, that looks like my given. 0.500 liters HCl. 2.00 moles HCl per 1 liter of HCl. There is we're looking for H2, so 1 mole of H2 for 2 moles of HCl. And we're looking for the liters at STP. 1 mole H2 is 22.4 liters of H2 at STP, right? That is that. We can also, in this point, right, I'm canceling liters of HCl, I'm canceling moles of HCl, I'm canceling moles of H2. And I can also reduce this 2 and this 2 to 1 and 1, so 0.5 times 22.4. So half of 22.4, I'm getting 11.2 liters of H2. All right, letter C, and we're done. What is the molarity of HCl solution at the reaction? 45.2 milliliters with excess Mg produces 5.20 liters of H2 gas at 735 millimeters of mercury, 25 degrees Celsius. I've got pressure, I've got temperature, I've got volume, I'm looking for moles, and I've always have an R, right? always have that from the flip chart. So let's write our little formula here. PVNRT. Pressure is 735 millimeters of mercury. Volume is 5.20 liters. 5.20. And we don't know. R, since it's millimeters of mercury, is going to be 62.4. Hopefully you still got your PV NRT flip chart. And T, it is 25 degrees Celsius, which we have to turn to Kelvin. We get 298 Kelvin. So N is going to be PV over RT, which will be 735 millimeters of mercury. 5.20 liters. 62.4 liters, millimeters of mercury. And 298 Kelvin. And that, if I have calculated correctly, is 0.206 moles. It was actually 0.2055 something. And if I left it the best way to do it would be to leave it at 0.205, whatever. Just leave what was in the calculator and use that number to go forward. But to get the answer that the book came up with, I have to go ahead and do the rounding at this point. So we'll go ahead and do the rounding at this point. I'm going to start then with 0.206 moles of hydrogen gas. I need to go from there to my mole ratio. I'm looking for moles of HCl, so 2 moles HCl for every 1 mole of H2. And I know that there are 45.2 milliliters, which would be 0.0452 liters. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the denominator. Right, because if I stop here, I've got moles of HCl and moles per liter, right? Moles HCl per liter of HCl would be molarity of HCl. So I'll just stop at this point, punch everything into the calculator. 0.206 times 2 divided by 0.0452. And I get 9.1150442,478, which would round to 9.12 molar HCl solution, which does match with what the book has as the answer on page 397. So, trying to match the book, even if it means doing the problem slightly wrong. I talked to ChatGPT about that earlier, and they're like, well, you know, most people round at each step and then do it at the end, but it's more accurate to not do it until they round it. You should only round once, but most books do it the other way. So, just to match the book, if you get in a class at a later date where they say, don't round until the end, then don't round till the end. I don't know that you're going to see that until you get to college, though. Or I don't know about next year. So if you take AP, who knows what will happen there. But we will go from here. So this is the end of the videos. You should do 11.62 and 12.62 and 12.64 on page 378 in the white book. And that will be your assignment for the rest of the period, if there's any time left.